fun weeks a year. If you catch yourself driving down this lonely stretch of road in Washoe County, Nevada, well, you're either lost or you live in the middle of nowhere. But 1 week a year, that all changes. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dave Malkoff, and I'm standing in the middle of nowhere. Normally, this would be open desert miles from civilization, but around here, normal is a dirty word, and dirty is what these 30,000 people are. Welcome to Burning Man 2001. Burning Man is not an easy camping trip. It's more like tough fun. What's known as Black Rock City is the location, about 40 minutes from the nearest phone booth up in northern Nevada. It's quite literally in the middle of nowhere. Welcome to nowhere. This is Empire, Nevada, in the middle of Washoe County, but this is not where Burning Man is. Burning Man is about 40 minutes down the road. This is the last bit of civilization you'll see before you get there. Where do you guys camp at? Those who choose to come to Burning Man must bring a stockpile of the bare essentials.
We're camping with the Illuminati.
They say the point of this week is to isolate yourself from consumer society. Once you check in here at the front gate, you can't leave without paying a hefty fine. And tickets to get in are pricey themselves.
He says that he himself personally paid for and left a ticket here.
Under whose last name?
They start at $200 a piece. Even volunteers, old-timers, and yes, journalists must pay to get in. The only comp tickets you'll find around here are held exclusively by the people who live in the nearby frontier towns. This festival started in the mid-'80s, and every year since then, new people have come and made the phenomenon grow.
Over to the left and go all the way down to the end, stay on the outer perimeter road.
And around here, they have a name for the newcomers.
Virgins! We have 2 more virgins!
The initiation welcomes newcomers into the family. Rebecca Newell is one of them.
Love it here, have fun, drink water, and then drink more water.
Okay.
And then have more fun.
All right.
When she heard someone talking about Burning Man last year, she made the decision to take the week off and head into the desert.
All this creativity and buzz, and it's all everyone ever talked about, so I decided that I was just going to buy my ticket and make it happen.
This is Greeter Kai. Can I have the green tortoise, please? Over.
At the front gate, folks known as the greeters handle the formalities.
No, not right here, though. But go ahead.
Greeters have 2 jobs. 1, welcome the residents of Black Rock City, and 2, lay down the law.
If it doesn't come out of your body, it doesn't go in the potty. Keep hydrated. Drive 5 miles an hour because the dust is really thick this year.
Greeters are volunteers, usually people who've been here a few years. They know what goes on beyond the gate, and it goes way beyond pushing the envelope.
You can push the envelope, you can fold the envelope, and you can pack the envelope. It is a wonderful time.
Away from Burning Man, most of these folks have normal lives. They're the folks you trust as your friends, you trust them as your neighbors, and you trust them with your life savings.
I'm an accountant. They know the month of August. I'm incognito.
As you move inside, you'll find a world that's a mix of Carnival, Mad Max, and Woodstock in a blender. Thousands of men and women come here from all over the world to let go of their inhibitions for a week. Some no longer feel the need to wear clothes here in Black Rock City. Why go naked? Well, just flag down the nearest bearded lady on a bike and ask her.
I'm not naked. I'm wearing a beard.
Fair enough, but ask that question to most naked burners, and they'll tell you the nudity around here is the ultimate freedom for them. And to tell you the truth, after a few days, you actually catch yourself not noticing anymore. Well, maybe for a few seconds at least.
You know, there's not very many places in the world that you can just kind of freely express your totally wacky side and have people not think you're a bad person.
This whole wacky world is huge. It stretches over 5 square desert miles. It is so big, they need temporary roadways to get around. The semicircular roadways are dominated by art cars, constantly on parade. All the cars eventually lead to one place.
I think you have have a wonderful day.
Located in the middle of Burning Man is the Central Cafe. It's the only place in the entire event you can buy a cup of coffee, and it's also home for Burning Man performance artists.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
By day, jugglers and poets toss their ideas around under the big top human circus. In here, the tribal drum beats send a stranger into an impromptu dance. People who may not give each other a second thought in everyday life suddenly feel connected by the event. Ken Bradley captures it all on his camera.
I take pictures of people, primarily.
The photos from last year are stuck all over Ken's vest. But the blue woman he'll never forget. For Ken, her face explained it all.
Burning Man to me is freedom. The freedom to do, and be anything that you want to be. And that's what she was. And that one picture was something that was totally unexpected and exactly what I wanted out of this experience.
Outside the tent, the streets are filling up. Night is falling fast. Think you've seen it all? Not quite. The art, the music, and the people come together in an explosion of creation the minute the sun sets. Burning Man at night when we continue. Welcome back to Burning Man 2001. This year, 30,000 people have come to party in this northern Nevadan wasteland. Now, the daytime sizzles, but the nights are really hot. This is Burning Man nightlife. It might as well be a million miles from civilization, a temporary city in the middle of the desert. Fire keeps the parties going all night long. Some parties are literally rolling raves, stopping only to pick up a stranger. It grows every second. And Black Rock City is reborn in flame, an all-night party where anything goes. And anything means everything. Follow a distant drum beat and you may find yourself somewhere like this. People who come here to capture Burning Man on film and video can't believe their eyes. It's like nothing else in the world. That's why the people who come here will do anything to get to the middle of nowhere. Like Molly, for example. She rode her bike here from Boston to Nevada.
The original idea was to visit a bunch of people across the country, but really we ended up seeing the entire country, and it was more of a learning experience than I ever could have thought.
They say it's much more than just naked people dancing in the desert. Yes, there's plenty of that, but that won't bring you 3,000 miles on your bike. People come here to experience the interaction with each other. It's a kind of interaction that just doesn't happen within the walls of everyday life.
It's like being a child again. Yeah. It's so cool. It's Halloween, a week's worth of Halloween.
You see it on TV, it looks like a bunch of people dancing around a fire. What you don't see is the incredible goodwill that everyone has toward each other.
That being said, most people at Burning Man will admit that this kind of world would never fly if it happened every day.
No, you wouldn't appreciate it as much. Maybe you would appreciate then the work and the organized culture, society and the noise. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I do think you do appreciate this a lot more because of the fact that life is so vastly different.
Walk away from the fire dance and the party becomes vastly different. Does this remind you of something you saw in the 80s? How about Mad Max? They've actually recreated the Thunderdome from the 1985 Mel Gibson classic. The dome is crawling with screaming fans as they watch their friends become bitter enemies. Strapped to the dome, club in hand, ready to fight. Beyond Thunderdome lies the domain of a man who calls himself Dr. Megavolt. Akin to Dr. Frankenstein, Megavolt's madness lies in something called a Tesla coil. It's a device that shoots a 15-kilowatt burst of electricity into the night sky. And that's not an easy task when you're miles from the next wall socket. Megavolt started trucking his generator here back in 1998. Now he is a staple of Burning Man nightlife. One of the brightest images you walk away with. It is definitely a party that never stops, but it can also be dangerous. We're talking dust storms and searing heat. How to survive in this no man's land when Burning Man 2001 continues. Welcome back. We are at Burning Man 2001. It's in northern Nevada, north of Gerlach. Out here, there's no water, there's no food, there's no communication. There is no nothing. So how do you survive? Well, somehow people do out here for 1 week. This is the desert, but it's also the middle of summer in the desert. No matter how much water you bring with you, it's not going to stay cold for long. Ice is shipped in here once a day.
We have some trucks on the way, but it's going to be a couple of hours, so the playa without ice is a dry, hot place. So anyway, everybody's doing real good though. They're sharing, and I think we'll be set.
Thank you so much.
Ice is one of the only items you can buy here, but the line is long. We're out of luck.
How long have you guys been in line?
Oh, just about 5 minutes.
Oh, that's it? That's not bad. We left here this morning before it started. It was back at the, all the way back at the tent before they opened. I was wondering how long it was going to take for this to...
They're getting low right now. They said they've got everybody grabbing a minimum.
Oh, are they really?
Decent amount of bags you can get by with.
Are they bringing more ice in then? Or?
Yeah, they said about 2-3 hours.
Before they get in? Oh, man. I hope you get there.
Molten Joe is a Black Rock Ranger. Rangers aren't the law around here, but they are authority figures.
We're here to facilitate. We're just here to help. You know, giving people directions, answering questions about what the rules are. But no, there's law enforcement out here. The BLM is out here if it gets to that level. But we're here to kind of just soothe things over. If things get a little tense or people get a little ruffled, we're there to try to smooth it out so everybody can stay and have a good time.
The BLM is the Federal Bureau of Land Management. They're federal agents. They have people combing the desert out here. But unlike the feds, Black Rock Rangers do this for free.
I do volunteer work. I like doing volunteer work, and it's fun to contribute. You know, I want to be a part of it and contribute.
The volunteerism comes in different forms. Ranger Molten Joe is a trial attorney back in Texas. Here, he's someone completely different.
Everyone is a participant out here. Everybody's contributing one way or the other. I mean, they're contributing music. We're just contributing our time and talents.
It's Joe's job to make sure everyone's okay.
How you boys doing?
To make sure they can survive these vicious desert days.
You're making it?
Out here, the comforts are few and far between.
If you're smart, you read every bit of information you can find about it, but when you're out here, you look at this, there's no way to describe this.
With all the people surrounding you, it's easy to take survival for granted. And then one morning you wake up to this. You are reminded that we are, in fact, in a no man's land. It is a desert alkaline storm filled with dust that gets into absolutely everything. Here's where your engineering skills could mean everything. And some structures are stronger than others. But is this working for you?
Yeah, pretty much, except for the wind.
It kind of fell down right now.
Eventually, their tent did fall down. Another one literally bites the dust. The storm ends just long enough, I think I got it, to prepare for the next. Keep pulling, man. Folks here will tell you this is hippie ingenuity at its best.
If the wind doesn't pick up over about 10 miles an hour, we should be all right.
And some are better engineers than others.
Shane, dude, what happened? The wind picked up over 10 miles an hour.
That was a 12-mile-per-hour gust.
Cutting through the howling storms, you can always hear the sound of work. Ben Niebauer is a Las Vegas man, an artist who's been working on this project for the good part of 2 years. Just what he's building and why it's so important for him to haul this massive piece of wood across hundreds of desert miles? Well, that story when Burning Man 2001 returns.
Baby!
It's kind of hard to pay attention to the game when you live where these kids do, because over the wall, something's going up.
They peeked over.
When the kids look over there, they get a glimpse of a foot, a rib, a...
They're building a person?
2 people to be exact, forged from burlap, chicken wire, and wood.
And I was going for like passage of time, from like skin to muscle to bone.
Ben Niebauer has been working on this project for about 2 years, and it is almost done. There is only one more finishing touch.
Just getting this head on.
He told me that he was gonna burn it.
That's right. Minutes after the man burns, Ben will baptize his own artwork in flame.
It's just radical self-expression. You express yourself every day in how you dress or how you talk or what you do. But out there, it's just to the 1000th degree.
To build these wooden giants, Ben studied anatomy books and used a computer to create curves from right angles.
The heads what actually took me the longest time because it's just so many pieces of wood to get the angle of them.
Once the final product reaches Burning Man, only a beam of light will connect the man and woman together, their hands just out of reach. And when the time is right, an all-consuming fire will be their final nexus.
Both of these together, it's going to be like 60 feet long, 10 feet high flame. It's going to be amazing.
A few days later, we ran into Ben on the outskirts of Black Rock City. He says it's worth the 2 years of planning, sawing, and drilling.
And everybody tries to stand there and reach and touch the fingers, but it's like that far out of reach for everybody.
Art can be anything out on the playa. Some anonymous person built this drum contraption out here. Looks like something out of Dr. Seuss. As you walk by, you're kind of sucked in by the irresistible urge to join in this junkyard band. The art on the playa spans from bizarre to out of this world.
Humanoid from the universe next door and a frequent visitor to planet Earth.
Captain Drift, as he's known to Earthlings, sits stoic amongst human onlookers. Today, Captain Drift found himself on the front page of the San Francisco Chronicle. Not even a wink as folks passing by offered congratulations on his newfound fame. But no one can overshadow the most famous art project of all. And as this festival comes to an end, this giant wood and neon man is set on fire. As you can see, crews are working on that right now. When we return here on Burning Man 2001, the man goes up in flames. Stick with us. Welcome back to Burning Man 2001. Everyone is here waiting for the burn. And somewhere weaving through this group of self-defined freaks, there is a meaning to all this. If you talk to them, you'll get a real sense of why they are here. As Mark Heyer from California explains the meaning of this fire.
It means the end of an event, and the end of an event in which everything happens, and at the end, everything is destroyed.
Suddenly, the flames begin.
Burn is all about burning the boundaries between us as people, bringing a bunch of people together and letting them interact without commercialism, without all the money, without all the things we think of in normal society, and just be people with themselves. And that's what's so wonderful about Burning Man. See on film or on video in the event, it is a tiny, 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 tiny fraction of what really happened there.
The burn is just significance of transformation. You know, whatever it is in your life that needs transforming, it goes up in flames with the burn. That's it. Just as simple as that. It's a real community experience here. It's such a powerful feeling of being a human being and be connected with these other wonderful people who come just out of the ordinary, out of normal existence. I was in the corporate world for 23 years, you know, and just to be here with all of my brothers and sisters who are just expressing themselves from their heart in whatever way they want to, it's fabulous.
We are recreating human society out here out of whole cloth. We're saying, okay, all the old rules are gone. How do we want to relate to each other? And that's what's wonderful about Burning Man.
And as day breaks and the festival ends, these people will go back to their normal lives where those pesky rules once again exist. That is until they come back next year. Thanks for watching, everyone. Good night.